Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Drew Davis coming at you with another episode of Learn How to See Better, the only podcast out there known to improve your vision the longer you listen. And here on this fine Tuesday, I wanted to make sure I was following up my magnificent Monday. And how do I make it a terrific Tuesday? Well, I treat Tuesday as though it's Drew's Day. If you hadn't noticed, I like to rhyme a little bit. Tuesday's Drew's Day. So what do I do today? Well, a lot of it has to do with the same morning routine that I was talking about previously in my Magnificent Monday. It's getting up, getting the body in motion so that we can motivate the mind and get that stimulus started early so that we can put things in motion and start to maneuver towards our goals. But you know what? I was just taking you through that initial phase because you know how you come out of the blocks is typically how you finish the race, right? Strong out of the blocks, strong start, strong finish. Well, on Tuesday, that is Drew's Day. It's the same in concept, but it's a little bit different because you know what? So often what I find is everyone saves any kind of QT that they want to spend with themselves, their family, their loved ones, spouse, significant other. It's like they save it for the weekend. It's kind of put in the back, right? Put on the back burner and prioritize not as the highest thing, but, you know, kind of you're just given what's left. So one of the things that I like to look at is the fact that with Tuesday's Drew's Day, guess what? Day 2 in the week. I'm taking care of you know who, that's Drew. And so one of the things that's important to me is right now I've been liking to make sure that not only do I, get up and get moving, and after I'm able to get the little ones off to school and get them fed with some breakfast and a wholesome start to the day, I like to run off to the gym and go sling some weights around and let loose a little of that testosterone I got still flowing strong through my system. And it feels great. It feels great to know that you're doing something for yourself, something that you've prioritized, something that you know is going to benefit you. And it's just one of those investments in yourself, no different than going to school on a Saturday or really taking the time to reflect on a Sunday evening and to make note of what's been taking place in your life so you can process those events, see what it all means, and translate those experiences into newfound knowledge. So what are we doing on Tuesday? Like I said, I get that day started very similar to a Monday, and then I get in there into the gym and really knock out some good exercises, slinging the weights around, like I said, having some fun, pushing myself, and making sure that I bring out some of that energy that I want to deliver, because I do think that there's a connection between physical exertion and mental energy. How do I phrase that a little bit differently? Let's say you go do some really exerting squats. You're under the bar, you got a good amount of weight under there, and you're going down to do those reps. And as you squat down, get your form right, get that butt low, and then you come up for that explosion. There's something that when you're finishing the last few reps of the exercise, when you're really having to dig deep to summon the energy within, to make sure that you're able to really squeeze out every ounce of energy that's left in you, that's when you feel like you unlock something. You unlock something great within you. You unlock a little bit of additional effort that's typically just, saved for maybe the next set or the next exercise. But when you have that mentality of like, I'm leaving it all on the field, I'm putting it all on the table, that's one of the scenarios that can really have you feeling rewarded. And the way that translates for me is when I go into the gym and do my thing and I just leave it all out on the playing field, I feel so proud. It's like when if you got a background in playing sports, if you've ever gone out there and put forth your best effort, but you still came up with the L, you didn't get the victory, you came out with the defeat. If you're wise and disciplined and understand effort, true exertion, and you know in your heart that you put out your very best on the field only to come up without the win, guess what? You're still a winner. You have nothing to be ashamed of. You can be proud of yourself knowing that you gave it the very best that you got. Similar philosophy to how we teach our kids. You do your best and forget the rest. Don't get hung up, trying to compare yourself to somebody else's results. Don't compare, compete. Compete with you, compete with the clock, compete with your goal. compete with what you said you were going to do, right? How hard is that? Not very. But we make it difficult for ourselves when we try and say, well, look at that guy. He's doing this. Look at him. You know, if you're in the gym, look at that guy's legs. He's swole, or his arms are swole. Or, you know, I've been finding in business, a lot of times people want to compare, you know, say it's real estate. It's like, oh my gosh, that guy's flashing checks that he you know, made this much money, 4 figures, 5 figures, 6 figures. And you might be just trying to get your first deal done, right? But at the same time, if you want to discount your efforts while you work towards that same goal, but not apply and not applaud your own efforts, then, you know, it's a small error in judgment that you don't want to repeat every day. You don't want to sit out there and compare yourself to the next man when you know deep down inside your grind is official, your dedication is superior than most. So why would you want to be a Debbie Downer and discount your own effort? No sense in doing that. No sense in doing that whatsoever. So you want to be able to run your own race. You want to have pride in your own effort being exerted, your own accomplishments, because I think that is part of the secret of success, knowing that you left. Like, I just left the gym right now. We were doing circuit training, and we were doing drop sets on the leg press for like 4 sets of 10. And it's 4 sets of 4x10. So you do 10, drop the weight, 10, drop the weight, 10, drop the weight. So it's 40 reps per set, 4 sets, 160 reps. And we didn't really waste any time. My workout partner and I, we were getting after it. Pretty much I go, you go, I go, you go. And what I found was by the end of that 4th set, it's like, bag it up, take it home. I was done, right? But at the same time, once I got a few minutes to just recover a little bit, all of a sudden I could feel it. It was like I had a second wind, a newfound energy, a certain peaceful pride about not giving up and calling it a day after a few short sets that took a lot of exertion. What I found was that renewed energy that would carry on through the rest of the workout. And I think that applies to life in so many ways. When you push yourself, when you test yourself, when you just give it that extra little oomph, you put the little extra oomph in when you try, and what do? You triumph, right? That's how the word's put together. You didn't know? So I'm joking a little bit there, but again, the point that I want to make is if you find a way to dig deep into yourself, to exert effort in anything, maybe it's trying to learn a new language, pass a test, develop a new skill, develop a muscle, sell a product, whatever the case might be, when you really put it out there and lay it all on the line, that's where a lot of the growth comes from, right? You got to move past what's possible and into the impossible to find out what's really possible. So that's part of Tuesday as Drew's Day, right? That's part of how I look at my day. I want to be able to continually invest in myself. I want to continually make the effort and the stride to invest in myself and grow to become 1% better, 2% better, 3% better over the course of a year, let's say, or a course of several months. And I think it's possible for all of us. We just have to recognize that it's not so much just, yes, the strength is in the routine, but the routine is what gives us strength. So we have to respect the routine and be strong enough to commit to the routine, because being committed to the routine is what will actually give us strength. And then that strength helps us to solidify the routine and create these new habits that begin to serve us. You guys picking up what I'm putting down here? I'm really trying to help people that might be running up against a wall and some of the goals that they are looking to achieve in their life. If they are struggling to make that connection and struggling to make that thing happen, more often than not, you might have to test yourself a little bit and force yourself to dig a little bit deeper. And these are great opportunities that when goal setting and achieving a new feat, to have an accountability partner there with you. You know, I know for a fact that if I'm doing leg day and I don't have an accountability partner, those last couple sets, I might duck out. Or I'll put it this way, it's easier to duck out, right? Now I'll still go in and I'm not dependent on anybody else to get a great workout in, but when you are running low, when you're digging deep, when you're tapping into the tank, tapping into those reserves, sometimes you need somebody there to give you that nudge, like, come on, man, that's 9. It's still your set. You got to get 10. You committed to this. It's still on you to get her done. Let's go. And so how many of you out there need that little bit of extra oomph, right? Are you doing anything to get an accountability partner? These days, an accountability partner could be an app. You know, you can get a coach through Fitbit, right? And make it just tech-based and use your phone, but find that way to dig deep. Find your day that you're gonna treat yourself and look at, hey, what day of the week am I gonna treat as mine? What day of the week am I gonna treat as mine where I go and look at investing in myself, focusing on my health? Self-care is healthcare, okay? And so I'm just sharing a little bit about how I do it, giving you guys a glimpse into what my life looks like right now with the daily patterns and things that I do for my life, for my family, and for my business, because I think completely independent of, you know, the money-making part and, you know, the actual results that we get, you know, that's just the feedback at the end, right? I think more important is the effort that you're putting out there in the beginning. And that's what you want to be clear that you have an understanding of. The effort that you're putting into this thing, the effort that you're putting into your goals, the effort that you're putting into your day, right? Because if you don't have any effort that you're putting into your day, you're going to find that you don't really seem to have much change or adjustment or development or progress in your world with whatever you're trying to do. Okay? So for all of you out there listening, I hope you're finding some value in the nuggets of wisdom that I'm looking to bestow upon thee. But the takeaways here would be as follows. Take a day that you choose as yours, and it doesn't have to be a weekend, to look at how can I make improvements to myself? How can I focus on myself to take care of me? What are the things that make me feel good? What are the things that help me to perform at my best? Find a way to tap into those for you and find a way to make it a routine. Because if you find that, you know, say it's Tuesday for you too, and every Tuesday morning you're reading a self-help book or something that helps you develop a skill or something that helps you develop, better confidence or additional patience, right? I was just talking about developing my patience just a few episodes ago, right? These are things that we all need at some point in our life. But find that day where you're going to commit to your own growth and development. For me, I came up with a cool little moniker, right? Tuesday's Drew's Day. That's easy for me. So what I have the flexibility to do as an entrepreneur is move things around in my schedule to meet my own needs. I don't take a whole bunch of calls today. I'm not looking to do a whole bunch of deals or run around and look at properties or launch marketing campaigns or any of the things that I do in business. Not really looking to line up, coaching clients that day or anything. I'm focused on what I need to make sure that I'm on track with the goals that I have for myself. If you don't pick a day during the week, that's A-okay. Grab some time on the weekend. It's part of the reflection and introspection process that I talked about in the very beginning of the podcast. How do you learn how to see better? Looking at those different steps and the elements of learning how to see better. And once you develop that enhancement of vision, you'll see it. You'll recognize it. You will start to wake up to the fact that there is that element of investment in yourself that you have to take seriously if you want to be able to achieve many of the goals that you have set out to accomplish. It will take you becoming someone that you aren't currently, right? Because if you're already the person, you'd already probably have the goal. Be, do, have, okay? You have to be the person that does the things that gets to have or enjoy that which the individual that did and became the person that gets those things. So think about that, noodle on it, back it up if that didn't make sense. You'll catch on. So that's it for this day. Tuesday's Drew's Day. I'm gonna leave you guys behind with that. I am actually gonna be off back to the office to go and again look at some of the things that are on my dashboard that I want to make sure get properly prioritized for the day. And that's really what we're looking at here. So I hope you've enjoyed this, and I hope you find the value that would be useful to not only you, but to someone else, because this is the type of information I believe that should be shared with other individuals. And the more that it goes around, the more goodness will keep coming back to you. So with that, take care, and I will see you all on the next episode. Thanks. Well, all right. That was some great content, wasn't it? Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm glad you liked it. This is your host, Drew Davis, and I want to thank you for listening to the Learn How to See Better podcast today.
And don't forget to subscribe and tune in for future episodes, and be sure to share with a friend if you are enjoying this content. Thanks, and see you next time.
The podcast you just heard was made using Anchor. Ever thought about making your own podcast? Anchor makes it really easy for anyone to get started. It's a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing podcasts. Best of all, it's 100% free. Sign up now at anchor.fm/new. That's anchor.fm/new to get started.